and you say with your chest that you know for sure that in that room I was pimped out. You saying it with your chest. You know I'm married. That means you're trying to come for my marriage. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video with your girl. Yes, I'm finally back. Let's not talk about that. In this episode, this next video, we are going to be discussing, unpacking the latest episode that I watched of Real Housewives of Lagos. Oh, and before we get into the video, like, comment, share, do all that. And then if you like the vibe, subscribe. There's no time for regular clothes. If you're inside the house, wear your pajamas, take a shower and get back in your pajamas, man, because I saw say kuyabanta like angazi so let me just say this. When I watched last week's episode, something in me, a fire came up in flames. It was as if someone poured gasoline in me. Okay, so the first scene is basically Chioma and Caroline going to her fundraiser or her charity event, where she's basically like giving out 100,000 to each person to start their own business. How much is 100,000 naira? Because you can say 100,000 and it just looks like yay, gang money. It's like 3.7. It's 3.7, 3,700. So that's basically like 4,000 rand. I mean, I guess that's enough money to start a business in Nigeria. So she was giving out, doing good. Yeah, there's not much I can say about that scene. Then there's a scene with her talking to this grandmother, and the grandmother is like, "Hey, you promised to come back to save my child, to pay for my child's hospital fees. That child died." And then Chioma starts fake crying. She's I'm sorry, but that cry was not believable. She started like, I mean, what you gonna do? She has to cry now in front of the camera because she didn't come back. She didn't come back and the child died. She's like, yo, I feel so responsible. What, yo, I would feel responsible. Where's now the second time I come back? I'm coming back with cameras to show people, yeah, I'm doing good in the community. Child dies. Yo, that is a sad part. I don't know why I'm laughing. God, heal me. What is wrong with me? Jesus, I'm sorry. But I was just like baffled by Chioma's like fake tears. Like, but I would have also done the same thing, because what happens now? What happens now? I promised you, and now the child is. Hey, I must also show some remorse. So I'm gonna try and bring tears out some way or another. So then the next scene is Laura and her husband, and she's basically unpacking what went online on their phones, because they were arguing on WhatsApp. So she's basically unpacking the drama to her husband, and basically telling her husband that Caroline said that Laura was pimped to a certain Nigerian governor or president of what, and Dasba, minister of what, something there. So basically Caroline is trying to say that Laura was brought to basically be pimped, and when someone is pimped, you're basically trying to say that she was prostituting her body for money or for some exchange. So basically Caroline was insinuating that Laura allegedly slept with an important person in Nigerian politics for an exchange, so either in money or high position in something. She didn't clarify. She just said you were pimped. And then Laura says something like, okay, the husband is like, what are you gonna say if Caroline repeats this in front of your face? Laura's like, I'm gonna slap her. Hey, listen, one thing about Laura, we are Bambalinka show me. So the next scene or the next setting, basically it's the last setting. It was like majority of the episode. So the next scene is the girls. I think Iyabo, somebody called a meeting, so everyone, each and every cast member, they came to a venue. I don't know whose place that is, maybe they rented it for the scene, yeah, but everyone came through and everyone had a seat, and they were basically there to unpack what had happened through WhatsApp Messenger. First thing that happens is Iyabo. So Iyabo, guys, she's basically like reprimanding Laura, and she's like, Laura, I don't understand that message. Why did you feel the need to address Chioma and Caroline for their lateness? Yada 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 yada. So I'm talking, assuming that you guys have been watching the episodes along with me. If not, go and watch them so you understand more of what I'm saying. But basically, it's like Caroline and Chioma came 6 hours late to a lunch that turned into a dinner, ne? And then obviously everyone was annoyed, but the only person who spoke up on the day was Iyabo and reprimanded them. Laura, she only said things in her confessionals, and she didn't say anything to them up front. And I mean, I was expecting her to talk, because the way she was talking in her confessionals, girl was busy. Yeah. These people, they don't respect our time. And she had an attitude, but she didn't say anything. So then when the whole dinner was proceeding, she just had an attitude, and she didn't want to be there. You can tell. She kept saying that the food is not nice. She kept saying that it's boring. She was just like, I don't want to be here. I don't know why I'm here. And I think what bored her the most is that you've been waiting. You've been waiting for people 6 hours, guys. Like from like 2 to 9, ne? 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. We've been waiting for these people, and then they have the nerve to show up in ball gowns as if they are attending the Grammys red carpet. I'd also be annoyed, and now I wouldn't be as quiet as Laura. I would tell them, like, in fact, let's fight. In fact, everyone, let's fight, because Watella, in fact, how can you now show up hours late to an event, right? And then now you show up just like Cinderella. You wanna be the star of the show. You're showing up as if you are the star of the show, as if this show is yours, as if this says Chioma and Caroline. It's not Real Housewives of Lego. It's Chioma and Caroline show. Okay, I'm off tracking now, because I'm so pissed over this. I'm off tracking. But yeah, Iyabo was busy reprimanding Laura, which I did not understand. Okay, I get Iyabo's point of like, okay, Laura, if you had a problem, you should have said it then and there. Why are you now bringing it up again as if these people are children? We've already told them once. So how many times are we going to tell them the same thing? Now you have to send a WhatsApp message. But if you guys read me, I paused and I actually read that WhatsApp message that Laura sent. The WhatsApp message was not malicious at all. Attack anyone. Personally, I feel like it was just speaking facts that we all have jobs, we all have places to be, so let's respect each other's time. And if it wasn't for the show, I wouldn't have waited that long. Me, I don't care if I signed a contract. I would have left. Shame. No one's gonna disrespect my time like that. Contracts, yes or no. They also signed a contract again, and the contract says must state somewhere that everyone must be on time. When the show starts, it starts. We're not gonna wait for you. Are you the madam? I kind of get Iyabo for reprimanding Laura, but the way she went in so hard, then the rest of the girls were like basically attacking Laura, and everyone was like attacking Laura. Even Choni was busy saying, Laura, if you are wrong, you are wrong. I will tell you as my friends. If you are wrong, wrong way, because she wasn't wrong. She's being facts. These people are late, and they need to be stopped. And you were not gonna stop them. You were not gonna stop them. You, because all of you are afraid of them. So I will do the job. I said yes. And then now I think Caroline now talks to Laura about the message, and basically she's repeating what she said in the message to Laura in Laura's face. Number one, Caroline came to fight, guys. Do you see what she was wearing? All black, no makeup, with a bun. She said, let me tie my hair. She said, girl said, in case this girl try anything, let me tie my hair back because she don't know who I am. She came there dressed in black. She looked like those people, like she looked like those people who carry the casket in a funeral. Like, she was just like an undertaker. Yeah. So she repeats what she said to Laura in the message to Laura's face. And honestly, this whole thing, like, bought Gesana, like, it's very boring and it's very tacky on Caroline's part, because for you to respond in that manner over someone reprimanding you for being late. Lateness. Someone is telling you to never be late like that ever again. And when you decide to respond by trying to ruin someone's marriage, because that's what you're doing. If you're saying a married woman was pimped while she was in a marriage, you're trying to ruin a marriage. You are trying to make divorce come upon this girl. That's what you're trying to do. And that was not an appropriate response. And for Iyabu and the rest of the girls to check Laura for a message about being late, and not check Caroline for her saying, even if it's true, you know what I'm saying, like, even like, we don't know what happened because we weren't there. Even Caroline herself, she doesn't know what happened unless she was also in the room being pimped, unless there were 3 of them in that bedroom, unless she was a witness and she was next. She actually doesn't know what happened. She saw someone go into a room. If I walk into a room with a person, it doesn't mean that I had sex with that person. Anything could have happened in that room. Confidential meetings could have happened. We could have been talking about something that other people don't need to hear about. And when you assume and you say with your chest that you know for sure that in that room I was pimped out, you saying it with your chest. You know I'm married. That means you're trying to come for my marriage. You are gunning for my marriage. You want me to be demolished after what you said. You're not thinking about my children. You're not thinking about anyone at hand. And it's kind of like hypocritical for Caroline to say that, because do you remember how heated she was? How ready to cry, ready to fight, ready to throw up she was when she spoke about how Laura's sister ruined her marriage. Laura's sister is one of the reasons that her marriage got ruined, and her child with this, and she started crying, freaking out, don't. Now she's the same person doing the same thing that she claimed happened to her when she was married. I'm just pointing it out. Wasn't Caroline the one crying, throwing up? Wasn't she crying, throwing up when she said that Laura's sister and Njanjani? And my thing is, she was doing all of that and Laura's sister is nowhere to be found. We still don't know her. We don't know how she looks. We've never seen her. She's just like a name that's been brought up on the show. Laura herself never said anything about Caroline. She just said that I stand by my sister. And of course I'm going to stand by my sister. I'm going to stand by my sister. For her to cry so loud and to scream about somebody who was not even there, and for her to do the same thing to another person, it's just like, it's giving side eye. It's giving side eye. It's giving side eye. I feel like Caroline has a personal vendetta with Laura because of what Laura's sister did to Caroline. It was very uncalled for her to spill somebody's business like that. Even if it's not her business, even if it is her business, even if she was pimped, it wasn't the time nor the place for you to talk about that, ma'am. It wasn't the time nor the place. She just said stop being late, and when I now talk about what happened allegedly in between her legs. That is messy, okay? That is messy. It's all these people holding Laura back, but they're not holding Caroline back. It's because they know that Laura can do damage. And then she was acting like she not scared, she ain't scared, while her best friend Chioma was sitting there scared out of her boots. Child, she looked like a white woman in a black area, clutching her pearls the way she was so scared. She was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's happening? What's going on? What's going on? Like, girl, we know you were scared, and we know you wouldn't have had that same energy if there wasn't security there, if there wasn't people holding her back, if it was just y'all. Because you know how ghetto Laura is. She took off her wig. She said, let's go. She said, let's go. That's how you know she not with it. I think Tioni and Miriam are the one trying to stop Laura. And then Yabo and Caroline are just... Yabo's just sitting there like, this ain't none of my business. Like, she's sitting there like, this ghetto group of girls, I don't do this. I got millions in the bank. Chioma is sitting there like a white woman. A white woman in a township. Or girl clutching her pearls. You can see she's like... She's confused. She's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Is this what they do in Nigeria? It's what you guys do. Oh my goodness, I've never seen this in the UK. I've never seen this in London. And you know what's so funny? Chima was the first one to say, if Laura slaps Caroline, remember back then when Laura said she's gonna slap Caroline over I don't know what. If Laura slaps Caroline, I'll slap her back. I'll slap her back. Girl, slap her where? He was clutching your pearls. He was holding off a deal. You was like, where's the police? And then Laura and Tony get into it because Tony did not back Laura up. And honestly, Tony is a fake friend. That's just it. She's a fake friend. As your friend, even if we're in a situation where you are actually wrong, ne? I'm gonna tell you at home when these people are not here. I'm not gonna sit in front of your enemies as they are bringing you down and dragging you down. I'm not gonna now come and kick you down as well, and I'm your friend. Hey, I feel like Tony doesn't know what she's getting herself into, because Laura knows all the tea. I get it, they were friends. And Laura did hint something about Tony having a problem with Caroline. So it is as if behind the scenes, before the cameras started rolling, they both maybe had a problem with Caroline, and now that Caroline is in their face, Laura's the only one that's backing up, you know, and sticking by what she might have said before. And Tony's kind of like acting like she loves everybody and she's friends with everybody, and she's just like, I'm just too grown up for this. That's what she said. Excuse me. She said, I have kids, whatever. Nobody's saying get up and fight, you know. Nobody's saying fight like Laura did, because you honestly, there's no reason for you to get up and fight. It's not that deep. But when they're talking about your friend, or they're talking to your friend, and they like stand up for her, say something, just be that backbone for her. Don't now drag her in front of her enemies. What type of friend is you? Like, that would have made me want to get up and beat you up. Like, never mind these hoes, I'm gonna beat you up because you supposed to be my friend. Why are you now leaving me to be jumped by these hooligans? And for the fact of the matter is that she kept saying that if you're wrong. And I don't believe that Laura was wrong for that message. That message was not malicious, did not talk about anybody's whole tendencies, did not call anyone a hoe, did not say anyone this. She only started saying things after Caroline said things to her. That's what, afterwards she was like, hey, that's why your husband kicked you out of your house, because you're busy sleeping with little boys. That energy came after Caroline's energy, but her initial message did not deserve Caroline's energy. And as much as Laura is like the villain of the show because she always has an attitude, and obviously if you're on a show, a reality show, and every time we film you have an attitude, I guess that gets annoying or whatever. But yeah, like the actual problem that they were fighting about, it did not need the response that it got. I feel like Caroline was just waiting. She was like, I wanna know. But I do also feel like, somebody said this on Twitter, somebody was like, Laura is jealous of Chioma, or she's intimidated by Chioma. I do slightly feel like Laura feels some intimidation from Chioma, just because Chioma is just like that girl. She's an it girl. You know, if there was like, she's like the Regina George of the group, not by how mean she is. She's not mean at all. It's just like how she carries herself. It's very intimidating. It would be intimidating for anyone. You know, she's very sure and confident, and sometimes that's a bit too much for some people who are not as confident. So I do feel like she's a bit intimidated, because she says like weird comments out of the blue that are like, okay girl, nobody was talking about you. Like Laura will say something like, I feel like Chioma thinks I'm intimidated by what she wears, out of nowhere, just cause Chioma uyazigcibela, girl. It has nothing to do with you. I promise you, when Chioma is wearing her gowns and telling her tailor, I want this, I want that, I want that, it has nothing to do with you. She just has main character energy. That's just her. That's just her. There's just some people who are born with Beyonce energy, and she's one of them. She's not thinking about you, Laura, I promise you. And for Laura to say that she's trying to intimidate me, it just shows that she's the one that's actually intimidated. She is intimidated because Chioma has said nothing about you, and now you already are coming for her. So I feel like her problem with Caroline is like, okay, it makes sense, but the problem that she has with Chioma, it doesn't make sense, because Chioma has done nothing to her. Her and Chioma have not crossed paths. I think it hurt her feelings when Chioma was like, me and Laura were not friends, she's just a client of mine. So that kind of gave like a bad impression, I guess, first impression. So that's maybe why she's coming for Chioma now. But anyways, I done unpacked. This video is gonna be long. If it's 40 minutes, guys, forgive me. You know, I have a lot to say. I really love this show. I'm really enjoying it. I have no issues or personal vendettas against these human beings. I don't know them. Let me just say that I don't know them. I only know things that I see from the show. Everything here is alleged. It's just from the show. I don't know anything for sure. I don't know these people, okay? Let me just say that. I actually love each and every one of them, as far as like their image. Let me just say that. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens this week. I can't wait. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below what you think. If you agree with me or if you have other opinions, it's fine. You know, everyone has their own opinion. I guess that's what life's all about. Yeah, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in my next video.